I don't know, drama from the beginning. But anyways, this is what happens in life.
You made the heavens, planted the earth, gave us stars for direction. But what was it worth if we don't have love? Oh, your perfect love. You filled the oceans, painted the sky, gave us each other. So tell me why, why we're lacking love. Oh, why we're lacking love. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Yeah, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, you can prophesy, speak in the tongues you made, but if you don't have compassion, how will they understand that we were made from love? Oh, we were made from love. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Oh, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Time to spread more love. Oh, perfect love, supernatural love. Your love.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Drama to Dharma. And oh, I just love that video from True. He's so wonderful. And what a name, True. It's all about love. It's so true. And everything that he sings about and that his soul searches, that's what we're all searching for right now. And that's what is home to us. So I hope you resonated with that beautiful music that we played. My name is Josie Herndon, and I'm the host tonight of Drama to Dharma, that I co-host with Archangel Gabriel, I guess. I'm the drama, he's the Dharma, although because they say in the angelic realm that they just sometimes can just eat popcorn and have a good time watching us and waiting for us to ask them, or they just look at us like, oh, watched this Netflix thing. I won't even say what show because I don't want to like put any shows down, but it was something from history that was kind of a comedy. So it was a little bit of a spoof, but it was, something from, 200 years ago history or whatever. And I was watching it and it's just so ridiculous. But that's kind of the way it was when you look at, you read history, in the 1800s and um the Edwardians, era, and looking at that stuff now, it's like, wow, did they really live that way? And Gabriel says that that's kind of how they see us all the time. So, I mean, but we evolve through, so that's a good thing. Anyways, that was a little bit off topic, but tonight's topic actually is giving thanks. Now we said Thanksgiving on the banner, but Gabriel corrected me in a sense. He just, reminded me that it's basically giving thanks is how we're going to discuss it tonight, giving thanks, because sometimes the word Thanksgiving for a holiday is not exactly inclusive to everybody. And everybody, if we have if we have an international audience, and then just other beliefs. So we're giving thanks so that it's all inclusive, and we're going to be speaking about gratitude. And we have a very special guest tonight, SHERI MYERS, and I'm going to read her bio, a little bit of her bio before I bring her up. Okay, so SHERI Lee Myers is a screenwriter, producer, activist, and podcaster, keenly interested in how we can personally, culturally, politically, and spiritually transform our lives to create community based on love, truth, and equality. And that's exactly what we're just talking about. She is the writer and co-producer of The Glitch, and that's a documentary that I actually am interviewed on. So if you haven't seen The Glitch, the movie, I encourage you to look at that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And so I was interviewed by SHERI. We'll talk about that. That's an independent film about the power of prayer to bring miracles and healing that will shoot outside, or that was shoot outside of New Orleans. And let's see, she's talking in, well, I don't want to just read her bio because she's such a special person. And when we were talking before the show, and she's very excited to come on the show, and she has a new movie that she's finishing called Angel Lady. So we're going to talk about Angel Lady, and she wants to ask Gabriel some questions about her movies. So we're just going to have a lot of fun with SHERI. And then she has a new book out that I think that she just said it briefly, but I think it's about completing projects or so. I don't know. I know I just, but anyways, help me bring up SHERI Lee Myers, and she's going to tell us about the book that she just wrote. Hi, SHERI.
Hi, darling. Thank you, Josie. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
I'm just so honored to have you here.
I feel the same way. Okay.
Are you in New Orleans? You're in New Orleans?
I am.
New Orleans.
I live in New Orleans.
Very good. It's such a beautiful. My husband Jim, his family, he is from New Orleans. He's from
wow.
He actually has family that was the hood. Yeah. General
the hoods.
The hoods.
Yeah. The hoods.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Right, exactly.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting because, you carry a piece of it with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure he misses it.
Yeah. Well, he I don't know. I mean, he never lived there, but just from his ancestry.
Oh, his ancestors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, his ancestry.
Well, please come visit. It's an amazing.
Oh, yeah. I've been there. I love New Orleans. It's just amazing. It is such an amazing, wonderful city, and the food is delicious, and history and the energy. Oh my God. There's so much energy.
The joy.
I walk through there and I feel like I'm walking into a portal of sorts.
Oh,
it's an entirely different energy for me when I'm in New Orleans. I feel like I'm in this, I don't know, this I could just feel so much energy there. Just there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Physical and non-physical.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
That is exactly true.
And it all seems to just go together. So
it does. I mean, you would get here and you're in the soup.
Yeah, that's right.
And New Orleans is much bigger than us. It's kind of like you get swallowed into the city. You can't help it.
That's right.
Fortunately, that's why, I got swallowed up and never wanted to leave. And fortunately we got to move here
You found home.
because we were making movies and we were back and forth all the time.
Wow.
So I have several questions to ask you, and I guess I'm going to have to kind of limit my questions because they're kind of big things. But the reason why I'm so interested to talk to you about this show
Yes.
and your background as a healer working in treatment, and you have Gabriel, and I would love to know, how has your understanding of working with the angelic evolved into a healing modality? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I love that you're asking questions, because when I do the show that I'm doing now, Drama to Dharma, the questions are so important, because then I just bring through, or Gabriel will bring through the answers. So thank you for asking, and the more the merrier the questions.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll bring him in a little bit later, and you can ask specific questions. But as far as my experience with healing and working, I've been working in the field of healthcare and recovery industry and behavioral health for over 30 years, since 1987. So that's been my life's work. And the angel work has always been, of course, part of my work, but over the last 20 years. So it's been, well, the way I see it is that, because, you think about it and it's like, okay, law of attraction, do I really just want to work with addicts my whole life? Type of thing. And behavioral health, it's really heavy work. But Gabriel says to me, this is the work. It is the healing. There's so much addiction, and there's behavioral health. There's people that are suffering from depression and anxiety. And it's like the core of what the human condition. So it is, naturally the place where the angels want to have the most effect, because it is the human condition. So the healing that happens when I'm working in the field is 2 or 3-fold. So one would be working, as I do a lot with professionals in our field. I've been putting events together, conferences, workshops for many years, more than I started the angel work. But that's been bringing people together in our industry. So, through the angels, I could just see them bringing the people that need to be together so that they can talk about clinically, what is best for them clinically, for the clients, and then putting retreats together and events together where they're fun, so that they could actually heal. So it's a lot about healing the healers, because unless the healers are strong as well, then the clients, because the clients come to us, our patients come to us broken. They come to us from the deepest places of the tar in this world. Basically, they come from the deep, and so they need us to be able to meet them there and then uplift them higher. And that's quite a lot of work to do. And that's what our therapists do. That's what our spiritual counselors do. That's what our admissions people, our marketers, everybody that works in our field, that's where we go with them to the deep, and then we bring them hope, and then we can work with them to uplift them. And some of them won't, a lot of them relapse and they go, but they never are the same after they've learned something. So even if it's that they learn a tool or two, or they have a bit of a spiritual awakening when they're in our care, and they still go out, because it's such a spiritually, addiction is just like having shackles on a body until they can be released spiritually. And I know that because before I even started doing a lot of my spiritual work openly with, and even knowing what it was, I did a lot of admissions and assessments. And one of my questions since I was young, because I grew up in this field, one of the basic questions that you ask is, how have you ever had any length of sobriety, and have you ever had treatment before, and what was it like when you've had, lengths of sobriety, or, when things were good, and what made it, okay, so they'll tell me about their lengths of sobriety. And then, or if I'm interviewing them later, they always say that it was the spiritual connection that kept them sober for however long they were sober. And so and then for those who have a long-term sobriety, it's the same thing. Well, what was different that time when now that you're sober for 20 years or 15 years, they always go back to that spiritual awakening, that spiritual connection. I've never had a different story. I've never
Right.
had a different story in all these years. And, you know, so the spiritual connection is definitely the part, and that's where 12 steps is very important. A
Yes.
lot of people
Yes.
don't,
Yes.
not everybody does 12 steps work for, but 12 steps works for a lot of people because it is a spiritual bridge. You know, it's a spiritual
Sure.
connector. Uh,
Sure.
there are other modalities, but it's always that spiritual piece. So I'm interested in that. I love that I can bring that to our programs.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bring that to our program, and you know, I pull a team together where it's the core of our team. It's the core of our treatment. Even though we are CARF accredited, we're state licensed, we have evidence based, but we always make sure that that spiritual piece is there. And then I make sure that our facility is wrapped around in that spiritual angelic energy. And people come
Mm.
in and they are like, wow, I feel at home here. Because
Yeah.
I pray that the clients will come through our doors, you know, that are searching for this, and who their parents and grandparents are praying for them. So
Oh,
bring them,
wow.
yeah,
Yes.
bring them in,
Yes.
you know, and
Yes.
they will come through. They will come through because, you know, as an answered prayer, because there's always somebody praying for you. You know, most of the time, there's somebody praying for them when they're not in recovery. So whether it be a
Mhm.
spouse, a
Mhm.
parent,
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
grandparent, their own children. So I ask
Mhm.
for that to be, for our place to be the answer to the prayers.
Well, la di da. That is definitely aligning everyone in with the light.
Yes.
And what I was so passionately interested in this conversation was how essential that piece of it was, and now it is the essence of the true, for me, what I observe through the podcasting that I've done and my conversations, and a lot of the people I interview have been really deeply traumatized
Yes.
some point in their life. What
Absolutely.
changed their life radically was
Mhm.
working with the angels
Yes. Yes.
and
Wow.
the experience of unconditional love, which also is in our community.
Yes.
I mean, that's in your community,
That's right.
unconditional love, which heals people who don't believe they could ever be loved again.
That's right. That's
And
right.
that's what my movie is about. That's
That's
what Angel
amazing
Lady is
because
about. So,
how I see humans, especially when I'm in alignment with Gabriel, which is,
mm,
you know, most of the time, hopefully, especially these days. But what, you know, what I do, and my husband said that this is sometimes, you know, my weakness. It's been kind of a weakness, but I only see the good in people. So I don't really see the other stuff. So especially when they come in to our facility, and that's why the counselors and the therapists, they get to work through all the, you know, the details of where they just came back from the crack house. You know, they get to work on releasing all those details. I don't see those details. I don't see their gender. I don't see, because we've worked with a lot of through the years, because we're in the Coachella Valley, with the transgender community since we've opened 8 years ago in this community, and I didn't know anything about the
wow.
transgender community 8 or 9 years ago, but I did. They came to our facility and we had good big groups. I mean, not big, but pretty good size groups. You know, for our size, at different times we would have, and and I didn't see their gender, and I would do spiritual groups with them because they were
Mm,
so far, they felt they were so far from God because they thought God didn't love them, or maybe they were raised Christians. A lot of them came, some of them came from the South, and they had a hard time. And their lifespans, back then, the research was 27 years of age, because they would either, they would just die. They would die of suicide, murder, drugs,
oh,
whatever.
oh.
So they just didn't have, you know, and so it, and but nobody was talking about that. But I remember, you know, telling them that, and they were very receptive to the angels. And I said, there's no gender in heaven. The angels, there's no gender. There truly is no gender. So you are pure. And they would they would end up getting tattoos of the angels on them and stuff, because that was their, like, oh, they could breathe and go, wow.
You opened that incredible safe space.
Yes.
That
Yes.
brilliant safe space that they could step into and
Yeah.
experience as much as they can.
That's right.
You
And
know,
they felt that love. They felt that love, the divine love, and that they remembered who they were, that they're
Mm,
truly beautiful angelic beings we all are. So it's remembering who we are and knowing
yes.
that we are perfect exactly the way we are. And that's healing in itself.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When we're and back to the gratitude, you know,
Yes.
when we are grateful for all that we have, I
Oh,
mean, all that we have been through and all that we are able to access, let's put it that
mhm.
way, you know, to be able to access your light, love, unconditional love, the world of Gabriel, to understand that that's, you know, there's healing there and it's constant and
Oh,
it's there for everyone. And it's just,
everybody.
I'm on a path about that because I used to be a big political activist and ran campaigns and was in politics, and I realized our world is not going to change until we can heal these wounds of unlovedness,
Oh, of feeling the unlovedness, of not accessing the love. Because
not accessing the love.
the love is there, but a lot of times as humans, we don't feel worthy of the love because of the
Thank you.
trauma.
There
You
you
know,
go.
the trauma will put a wall between us and that divine love because somehow we feel shame about the trauma. We feel that it's our fault about the trauma
That's right.
because, like, okay, so go from a victim to a survivor to an agent of change. And that was something that Gloria Allred says. And,
Ooh,
I think, and she lives that, and, and I'm not even saying from a political standpoint, but
I get it.
yeah, she lives those words. And I think it's amazing because we all do. And I believe that there is the part that happened. There's the story for sure. There's what happened,
Yeah.
and that's where we could feel the victim. And so many people get stuck in that, and that they go to the drugs and everything and alcohol just so that, just like the PTSD with the vets. I mean, there's research that shows that when a vet comes back, they drink for 2 months straight. Now, some of them will not become alcoholics and they'll just stop, but that's how they kind of re-enter.
Sure.
And then a lot of them won't, so that just reminds me of when there's trauma, it's like a coping mechanism. The
And
drugs
isn't it?
and alcohol, it's like a pain pill after surgery. It's a it's like,
But
okay, it's
and
just,
also, doesn't trauma rewires our
it
brain
rewires the
and
brain,
the heart, and
everything.
we're locked in something
Yeah,
that we just can't get through
right.
until there's a breakthrough.
Until there's a breakthrough, until we realize that we're a survivor. So we didn't die from the situation. We survived from the situation, right? So I'm thinking
That's
about
really good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a really good step
Mhm.
because you can be really proud of yourself
Right. Yeah.
and really love your capacity
And then again, from law of
to change.
attraction, you go from the contrast. And I know this is a huge step for people, but can we find the gratitude in the situation that happened so that we could know what we do want and utilize that strength, the strength, because after a trauma, we're not the same. Right? We
Yeah.
we are a different person, so we are stronger. We are stronger spiritually. We are stronger in every way, even though we might feel like we're weaker. But Gabriel's saying we are actually stronger after the trauma. We have depth. We have experience. We have what here on this planet, part of the human condition of this planet. And that
And
way we can grow from it, and then
we can grow. Yeah.
that's where ideas come from.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
where activism comes from. That's where
Compassion,
compassion comes from.
you
That
know.
everything. That's where so much comes from. If we had no experience, then we would be with them. And we knew coming in what our experience would be.
Yeah.
So if we could remember, which is a big stretch as well, it's an angel stretch, but if we could remember that we knew before we got here what we were coming into, and we agreed to do that, and we agreed to make change, and we agreed to evolve, and we agreed to be part of this, and we agreed to, and that's when we can really make a difference and come in touch with our angels, because we're remembering who we are. And I have a hard time with that sometimes, remembering who I am, believe it or not. It's because, it's just, we get so caught up in the third dimension or whatever, this world, right? It's easy because we have to. Gabriel says it's mandatory, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So, there are times when I do, like, I literally have, I have to pull away, do my meditations, remember, because I can get caught up in all of it. Watching the news gets me caught up.
Oh my God.
Anything like that. So
No kidding.
like, watching the news is devastating. It popped up on my phone just this evening about the thing that happened in Wisconsin. It's like, what the heck? What? So then I just started praying, knowing, okay, that's a huge trauma that the entire, that we're gonna, whoever reads that story or and lives in that area. I mean, that's just one big trauma right now. But again, from an angelic standpoint, remembering who we are and remembering that we can energetically heal.
We can help.
Families
We can help others heal as we heal ourselves, because we can offer experience.
Well, like in the case of what just happened, in Wisconsin, we have the ability to send them love and light and healing, and then feeling it from a collective conscious, right? Collectively, we can do that. We can send, when something happens right now, we can send them that healing, we can send them that love, and they'll catch it.
And you know what's beautiful about that? Here we are taking action instead of feeling victimized by an event that was outside of our control.
That's right. There's the initial shock that we all feel as humans, and then we can go into that, how we can make a difference. That's true. That's beautiful. Okay.
And prayer is to me that it makes all the difference in the world.
Yes.
And I grow a lot of my adulthood. I thought, even though I was a Buddhist and I chanted, I thought I was a little too good to chant. It's like a little bit like I don't need a crutch, It was nuts, because
you probably
taught me everything that was good in my life came through the power of prayer. And working with the angels and working with prayer now in a non-secular way, as you just mentioned, which I think is just brilliant, is bringing, because there's so much to be discouraged about. And yet when we get together and pray, and we know we're sending love to and healing to a wound,
a
it's
fresh wound, a right now wound, not a later wound. Not a later wound. Don't wait for the PTSD, Gabriel says. Just start healing that wound now. Right now.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. He said that. Thank you, Gabriel. That is right. That is right. And that is how we can keep engaged.
That's how we can be proactive right now. That's how we can make a difference right now with the collective conscious. He says, if only we knew how much we could do.
Yes.
We would be doing so much. Lorraine says, to go from victim to victor is the most beautiful transition ever. This is what I teach my patients on a daily basis. It is just beautiful. And so, Lorraine, thank you for that. And thank you for commenting. And also take it to the next level. Lorraine, right now, you can heal people as you send them love without even saying a word. Without saying a word, and just doing it through prayer and doing it through the collective conscious, and being, just asked to be just be part of the collective conscious for the highest good, the golden thread of the planet and the universe. And we could heal at this moment anything that's happening on this planet. We don't know what it is, and that's okay. We don't need to. The universe knows what it is, how we're healing them. You see?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't know like exactly the details. We don't know if it's a 9-year-old girl that her name is so and so. We don't know that. But we do know that she's catching it. Because children were watching this.
And
The victims that were there. This was a parade, right? We're just using this as an example because I'm feeling it heavy in my spirit right now. The children. And so we can send love to those children because they need to feel safe tonight. The children need to feel safe tonight. So we can send that healing to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. You know, I do a lot of Pinterest, and it's been amazing.
Yes.
I have over 700,000 views a month on my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the most successful pin that has been saved probably 10,000 times is 2 electric beings facing each other and this rainbow traveling between their hearts.
Oh.
And the simple text is, when you're having difficulties with someone, send a rainbow bridge from your heart to theirs.
Beautiful.
And in every language, people pin that.
That's right.
So that what we're talking about is something that is
the rainbow
so
bridge.
simple.
Yep.
It's so simple, but it does take the commitment.
It's very quick. It's very quick. You don't even have the word commitment might scare people away.
Okay.
You just say, get her done. Just say,
okay.
My heart to yours. My heart to yours. We're good.
Yeah. You know,
and that's why that picture is so popular, because that graphic, because then it just goes into their subconscious and then they can just think it and feel it without saying the words. Because words without words, the energy is more powerful. When you're just feeling that connection with each other without the words, because the words tell a story that's interpreted by our mouth.
And by our deranged brain.
And by our brain and our mouth and our voice.
And we are already always listening. All that stuff.
But when we just go straight through energetically, there's no distraction. And it can be even more powerful. And that's why prayers are so powerful, because they're personal. And you're in a prayer communion with God, with the angels, with the universe. And you're feeling it, rather than talking about it. If you were to have a discussion before your prayer,
while you're praying, or while you're praying,
or while you're
how's it going for you?
Already, just do it,
Yeah, it's so amazing to me that this step that we can take of allowing ourselves to be open to the angelic, and to open to divine love, and to be open to our guardian angel. This is such, in my podcast, I'm always so grateful that people there are teachers like you. There are people around the world who will open that door and say, you can open this door too. This door, come into my room.
Well, this is like Gabriel tells me, this is not a gift. It's not a present for Josie. This is for everybody, has it already. Just a reminder when they hear the words. Because, some people say, oh, it's a gift. And but he corrects, no, it's not really a present. It's not a gift just for one person. Although we all have different ways that we, that we share the energy. Yeah, that we channel the energy. We all have different ways but we all have access to it.
Hey, listen, my hairdresser channels. She's in the middle of something. She'll say something so profound. I was like, okay.
So does mine. She's amazing. Yeah. I mean, there'll be times when I'm not sure what we're going to do the show on, and then she's doing my hair, and then she'll give me an idea because she loves watching my show, and then I'll be like, oh, great, gosh, thank you. Okay, that's what it's going to be. Rebecca.
Yeah.
So we are all connected. We are all connected. And Gabriel said, if we could see really everything, one, we'd be a little overwhelmed for sure. But if we, but if we could
Baby.
be a little overwhelmed, but if we could just literally see how it all works, how we all work together with the collective conscious, it's just amazing. And we know that because we've had thoughts, we've had ideas, and then somebody else doesn't. Because it's all a collective together. Some of us are going to get the job done, and some of us aren't, or it'll be a different time, whatever. But we are all communicating without communicating verbally. So we're,
Yes.
and that's why we just remind each other of certain things.
Yes.
We'll remind each other of certain things, good, bad, or indifferent. So at the grocery store, if somebody's rude to you, you're going to be reminded of something. May not be good, but something's might trigger and go, wow, that was rude, and change your whole experience at the grocery store. And the next thing you know, la la la. So, but that person reminded us of something.
I like to tell myself from time to time that, especially when I'm up at the lake and I'm in a really peaceful place, and I am able to, like, there's the drama that doesn't come in my face, because I'm able to say, you are not going to screw with my peace. And that's up to me.
Right.
That's really up. That's whether we are, again, victims to all the events around us, and where do we, how do we reconnect? And I think that's
and he says, embrace all of it. Embrace all of it. Embrace whatever the situation is, because now you're thinking about, I don't want to think about that. You know what I mean? How can I find peace? How can I get this out so I could bring this in? If that hadn't been happening, you wouldn't be asking for that beautiful peace. I mean, you could take
it. That is really true.
Levels. Yeah, he said
so true.
So
true.
I mean, that's where gratitude can just keep going.
Added gratitude. And I have this wonderful quote, and it's really, I'm just going to get it, tuck it down off the wall and read it, because this quote has been on my bulletin board for the last probably 25 years.
Wow.
Okay. Yes. By Ralph Marston. When you consider the road ahead, be thankful and enthusiastic about the opportunity you have to travel it, and find joy in every step. Moving forward each day, you become more and more the person who is able to get there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Gratitude. That is such a wonderful reminder.
Gratitude about our steps.
Our steps, all of them. And it's hard to be in gratitude when you're depressed. That's difficult to be in gratitude when you're depressed. So that's it's almost a quantum leap, Gabriel says, that when people are so depressed and have anxiety, it's a quantum leap. Now, people who are addicted could find gratitude because they're grateful when they get their drugs, or whatever. They can find gratitude. But when you're depressed, it's a quantum leap. So if somebody is listening and they're feeling that depression, you don't have to make a quantum leap. You just have to brush your teeth.
Oh.
You just have to turn the light on in your room and know that light is God.
That's beautiful.
Every light, the night light, that's God. That's all. And then tomorrow you might comb your hair. And then the next day you might open your shades. There are no quantum leaps for that. So very gently move towards the light. Very gently move towards the light. And the literal light, like a little light bulb. That's it.
That's beautiful.
And knowing that little light bulb is God. Yeah. Because a quantum leap is too much. It's too much. It's almost painful for them to think about that.
There's a line in my movie, in The Angel Lady, and it's about faith and how do you find the light?
Yeah.
And I have this analogy, which is faith is hope in the dark. Faith is knowing there is a switch somewhere in the dark.
Yes.
Just knowing, just that somehow there'll be a switch and you'll turn it on and there'll be God. Yeah.
That's right.
So we have the same, we have the same analogies in the room.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Just any little light. That's it. So if you know somebody who's in that situation, just bring them a little light, a little night light, anything. That it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm bringing you the light of God. Again, quantum leap. A little light.
A little love.
A lot of love and a little light, and then the light will get bigger.
Yeah.
Bring a lot of love. A lot of love. You don't even have to say it. Just bring energetically all the love you can bring, because they will feel the love. They will feel the love without words. Because there are no words that are going to necessarily, especially if it's grief, if they've just lost a child or if they've lost a spouse and they are grieving. There's hardly any way to bring them any words that'll even make it, So energetically bring the love, especially during this holiday season when it's difficult.
Oh, what's such good advice.
Thanksgiving, that's why Thanksgiving, the holiday, he says sometimes will trigger people because perhaps they lost a loved one right around Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And then Thanksgiving's never the same again, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he says giving thanks is great, but during this time for us to remember that, yes, it's a time of joy because so many people now are gathering after being sent to their room during COVID. He calls it. We were all as humans sent to our room, right? But now we're all out now, and we're going to see each other, and so that's going to be other things as well. Let's stay grateful, he says, when we're with our families, because there's going to be a lot of chatter, and there'll be some, family drama. But let's remember during this time of Thanksgiving, or when we're with our family during the holiday season that we weren't together over the last 2 years. So let's just, we can see about putting some of those discussions aside for a minute and hug each other and love each other and come together with love.
Well, and grateful we made it through.
So much gratitude.
So much gratitude,
So much gratitude that we're here, that you and I are even talking.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's been some time.
It has. These last 2 years have just been amazing as humans.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah. It was like it was like an eternity, and yet it was like 2 minutes.
I completely agree.
It was like Gabriel explains it as we were in a no time zone. Yeah. That's why it feels like eternity and it feels like 2 minutes. Because it was a timeless, when we talk about a quantum leap, we literally were, as humans, pushing to do something we couldn't do.
You're so right.
Right? We were pushing to go outside. We were pushing to go to the store. We were pushing to go to work. We were pushing.
Pushing to have our lives.
All
normal. Nothing normal.
Right. Well, we felt like we were going to die if we went to the store.
That's not normal.
That's not normal.
A lot of fear.
Yeah, a lot of
fear, huh? A lot of fear, trepidation, despair. There's a lot of, and it's.
And there still is.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up the depression because there's no getting around it.
Yeah, we can get through it, and they will get through it, but we need to bring it up because there's a lot of it.
And simply acknowledging there's this. Well, just this so much depression for so many reasons in so many ways. Life is,
and we're all going through it. We're all going through it.
Exactly.
Not just the person that has it a little bit more. We are all going through all of those things. So that's why we can connect so dearly with them because, we're all going through that. But it's going to make us stronger. And it's going to bring our hearts, our heart space is just going to grow so much. It's growing. It's already big. Our heart space is just like this right now, Gabriel says, just huge. as humans. Our heart space is huge. Now, do we protect our heart space? Yes, we do sometimes. But when we're alone, our heart space is wide open. And that's why we protect ourselves, because we know we've been hurt, whatever. But our heart space is wide open, and we should just embrace that. And like your what you talked about, your graphic that's so popular, is just imagine that rainbow bridge connecting, because it's energy. It's all beautiful heart energy. It's beautiful heart energy. Oh, it's so wonderful having you on the show. Oh my goodness. Thank
golly
you.
gee.
Oh,
Josie, you have such a mission. You
well, I
know,
appreciate you so much, and everything that you do by bringing
thank
up
you.
the topic
Yeah.
and making the movies and making the documentaries and your Facebook groups. I mean, you literally are just bringing. Gabriel said, "Okay, I'm going to bring Gabriel in because he wants to talk to you." Um, I'm not even going to speak for him. I'm not even going to speak for him right now. He's saying, "Stop."
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, good evening, good evening, good evening to all that are here listening. And specifically, we are honoring you, SHERI, for the work that you do, your work, your platforms, your ability to be a conduit for us, and your willingness to openly discuss us at times other than Christmas. We always say, our claim to fame is Christmas. We love it because everybody loves the angels during Christmas. We can feel the angels coming out of the boxes.
Yes. Oh my God, that is so
We
true.
embrace it, and we are going to be, they're never going to feel the angelic realm more than they do now when they're bringing their angels out of the boxes and putting us on top of the trees and putting us as decorations, because we are real, and we are going to fill their homes with our love more than ever, because there's this veil that is no longer here. And that's what you feel. That's the heart space energy that is wide open. It is us. And we are you, and you are us. And you're going to remember who you are more so than you ever have before. You're not going to transition again and say, "Oh, I forgot who I was. Oh, I'm going to have to go back as a baby and do it again." No. You are going to remember now, all of you. Now, you have free will. You can choose to do whatever you want with the information, but you will remember who you are. So as light workers, you can encourage each other to embrace it and to do with it why we're here, why you're here, and why we are all here together as one, as there is no more veil. And that's why all the messengers are coming to you, SHERI, and to Josie, and to those who are listening, because we are invited in. All we need is an invitation, and we are there. So the invitation during the holidays is when you bring the angels out. And that's our invitation.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
You have us on your mantle. Yes.
Yes.
You have us on your trees. Yes. You have us in your doorways. Yes. You have us in your stores. Yes. And we encourage you to keep us out all year long if you can.
Yes.
Or you can pack us back in the boxes.
You
will always think now before you pack us.
Yeah.
No, we're not saying, but we love you dearly. And it is all energy, and everything about what you are doing is blessed and ordained and anointed. And we thank you for that.
Thank you.
And when I say we, I mean we. We mean we are many. Many. Do you have a question for us before we are complete?
Gabriel, the film that we are launching is called Angel Lady. And I want this message of this film that angels are everywhere. I want the film to be everywhere. I want the message to be everywhere. Do you have any advice how I can hold this project so that it comes together in the best way?
We encourage you to say, angel lady, angel us. That's inclusive.
Angel lady, angel us.
Angel lady, angel us. And those that see it, those that read about it will remember it's not just about the lady, angel, it's about the us, all of us.
Interesting,
And
because
we will have many viewers. Because right now it is very sensitive to pigeonhole one or the other. So the title, we encourage you to make it all about angel us, angel lady, angel us.
It's called Angels Are Everywhere. Is the other part of the title. So
Yes,
I think Angel Lady, angels are everywhere. I mean,
angel,
I know what you're saying.
Yes, you okay. So you play with it. You play with it. You'll
Thank
think
you.
about it. You will meditate on it.
Mhm.
You will get your answers.
I always do.
Yes.
Thanks for the reminder, though.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Thank you.
As Josie's book has changed titles many times.
Josie's book.
Yes. Yes. Our book with Josie. Our book with Josie. Yes.
Yes.
And we thank you for putting this together, this documentary, The Angel Lady.
Oh, I really do feel I am the conduit for these bright lights.
You are.
I am the conduit. I mean,
you are a bright light that can hold the energy of all of them.
Oh, it's important to me for people to see these light workers in the flesh, to know them.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Don't you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This little light of mine. Yes. We love you dearly. And we are
you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Oh my. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful too. It's just wonderful to be gotten on a level where it, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because it's the work that you're doing, and as humans, we need confirmation. So this is, and you can reach out to me anytime as you're doing this, or reach out to Gabriel. Yeah. Because he might have a little ideas for you, he says.
True. True.
Because I saw it clearly. I saw angel lady, angel us, and I could see it being us, meaning all of us. Like, no gender. Again, back to that no gender.
Yeah. There's a part of the work, the film itself, and then there's the the B-roll, all the extras that go with the film.
Yeah.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to be interviewing people who work with angels.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And people like you who work with people who are trying to start their life over. It's about restarting your life.
Absolutely.
And healing from trauma, and whether or not angels are real. And that is having that material, Angels Us.
Yeah.
That's a really great formula. I mean,
it keeps that's really nice.
Because of what that's why I'm just can't wait to see what kind of programs we can evolve that will help women in halfway houses and help women in spiritual programs helping people learn, to introduce them to their guardian angels. And
Yes.
I've talked to a lot of my podcaster people about that, and it's almost time now.
It is. It is time. It is time.
Yeah, I
It
feel
is.
that.
Yeah, I think what's something new that he's been saying is there's no more veil. That's something fairly new that I've been saying, that Gabriel's been speaking through me. So when he says that, when that comes out, I just feel that the angels are so close. They're just right here. Where before there was this,
Yeah, I know what
right
you're saying.
now they're just here.
Right next.
Like they're always with us, but I mean, almost physically here.
Yeah, I completely understand. I completely get what you're saying.
I mean, because there's can't you feel us scratching your head sometimes at night, or helping you go to sleep and rubbing your toes?
And if I was on this location scout, and it was really a little bit stressful.
Yeah.
Because you want to find the locations, and I'm up on the second night. I'm up, and it's 2:00 in the morning. I have a headache, and I remember I have my angels.
Yes. Oh, I know. Isn't that funny? Remember, I'm the same way. Yeah.
this word like pops in. It's trust.
Trust.
And I trust. And it was like, woke up the next day. I said, trust. Goodness, don't
They were telling you that in your sleep. Yeah.
Trust, go to sleep, wake up, trust, take your steps. It's wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They're just talking to you. You're understanding them. You're listening. You're feeling it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And if you're not,
you need to be able to when you're doing a movie like this, though, because they're your partners in the movie.
Yeah.
They're your partners in the movie.
Another time I'll tell you about how we met. The miracle, a miracle happened on our location scout. An absolute miracle.
I can't even imagine how much fun they're having.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you.
You're having a blast with your movie and your locations.
The night before, I'm up fretting. They say trust. The next morning, we walk into a perfect location that can serve all these other sets. One place, 5 different sets, 5 different locations. Wow. We can get an accordion. We can get a mariachi player. We can get an old TV. We can get a 68 Corvette, and all exactly the sets we need. And the fellow who owns the trailer court is a curandero.
Oh, of course he is.
And the Doña Maria, who's going to, in our movie, Doña Maria, who's going to live in his house, is a curandera.
So then what you do is between on your breaks, you have them do a massage for you.
Bring it on. These
potions.
I'm telling
when you go to Mexico and they're like, oh, you're going to go, do a massage, and it's like this huge healing. It's like wonderful.
Go, please. Yeah. Yeah. Miracles. But gratitude
and giving thanks this week.
Thanks.
Remembering who we are and all the love that we can share energetically with each other meaning all, during this time, because there's polarity. There's emotional polarity during the holidays.
Yeah, and go out and love on nature too.
Yes, love on nature, love on just love, because our hearts are wide open. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, SHERI, this was so nice. And anything that I can do, any way that I can be part of it, I'm here, because
I want you to be part of it.
Whatever, or even if it's you call me and you just say, "What do you think about this?" I mean, just
there's going to be a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, and it all comes through. It all just comes through when it's supposed to. Just like us tonight.
Exactly.
When Deb said that you were going to be on my show, I said, oh, "What? Oh, I was so excited." I thought, "Wow."
Thank you. I felt the same way.
No,
I admire you so much.
Oh,
you're just. I'm surprised. I'm always surprised at your brightness. because it's so bright. You're so bright. And it's just a beautiful thing.
Thank
It's a
you.
beautiful, beautiful
Thank
thing.
you so much.
So glad that you're in the business, that you're in the healing, and I want to have more conversations about that.
And, you know, just you saying that is so wonderful because doing this work is so difficult sometimes.
Oh,
So I just, a lot of times, so this is why I keep doing the work. And so thank you for
you're
that
welcome.
acknowledgement.
You're welcome.
And now it's time. It's already 7 o'clock. Thank you
Goodbye.
so much. And thank you
Thank
to
you.
ATS, our sponsor. I'm going to put up a couple little sponsor, and then I'm going to see everybody next. We're going to go back to Thursdays after Thanksgiving. That's right. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, Debbie's going to put up our sponsor banner for, let's see, ATS. There we go. That's our treatment center. Addiction therapy. Thank you, everybody, and please have a wonderful Thanksgiving and a wonderful giving thanks this week. And again, to Renee Popovitz, also with her book, Agriel. And we will talk to you guys next time on a Thursday. Thank you.